So I quit my job. Hey everyone, it's forever Jamm. Finally got it right. Woo. So I've been gone for probably about 2 months, and I know that's probably the longest I've been gone for, but honestly I've been pretty busy because I quit my job, I bought a house, and a cat adopted me. So a lot's been going on. Oh, and on top of that, I got my certification for a registered behavioral technician. So yes, a lot has been going on in these 2 months. I've just been busy running around, and I'm like, oh my God, I haven't posted on YouTube. So that's kind of why you're seeing like random videos here and there, like YouTube shorts, because I'm just posting things that I've done. And I know it's not caregiving videos, but we've got to put something out there, because otherwise YouTube is gonna be like, yeah, are you still interested? So I know the big question you guys have is whether or not I'm still going to be making caregiving videos. So to answer that really quick, yes. So I'm still going to be making caregiving videos even though I quit my job. That doesn't mean that I'm just going to stop making caregiving videos, because I have a lot that I still need to talk about. The only video that you won't see me making anymore is like the day in the life of a caregiver. And that's just because I don't have that job anymore. There aren't any day in the life activities that I can show you unless they're old. Before I got certified, I moved to a new area and I was trying to get another caregiving job. And what I found was it's really hard to get caregiving jobs. The area that I was in, I can say I was really blessed because there were a lot of caregiving jobs available and the pay was really decent to where you only had to work one job. Down here, it's a totally different story. So most of the jobs that I usually worked were in the special needs section, or people with developmental delays. What I realized is where I live now, there aren't a lot of positions that are in the area that I usually work in. So I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? I can't find a job. I really made this big leap of faith, and here I am just struggling. So basically I decided not to do caregiving with special needs. So I'm like, okay, well, let me find something else. So of course, you know, there's caregiving, there's babysitting, and then there are people who are au pairs. Now, I decided to try babysitting since there weren't a lot of caregiving jobs available, which is kind of similar. And that experience did not go too well, to be honest. I ran into a couple of issues. Issue number one was pay. A lot of the jobs that were offered, the pay was not very good. Now, because I left the job, I can be a little bit more open about certain things. So the job that I just had, I was making $20 an hour. Now, the normal range for a caregiver is about $12 to $15 an hour. 20, 25, and 30 is pretty rare, but they are out there, probably depending on your area and your level of experience. So a lot of the jobs that I saw were actually like $10 an hour. And I was willing to take a pay cut because I'm like, okay, I do need to work. But $10 an hour is a big pay cut and I cannot live off of that. So even though I do caregiving and babysitting, that is my career or my job. So I need to be able to pay bills and make sure like I have food and all that stuff. So I was like, let me think about this. Do I really like need this job or these jobs, and am I going to be able to survive? So I'm like, okay, $10 an hour temporarily. That is something, it's better than nothing. But the issue is it was like a 9 to 5. So I'm like, okay, so a lot of these jobs are during like normal work hours. If I'm making $10 an hour and I'm working 9 to 5, I can't get a second job to counteract the low pay that I'm receiving. So that was an issue. And I tried to kind of negotiate like, hey, I have a lot of experience and $10 an hour isn't really enough for me to survive on. So maybe 15. Like I was willing to work with 15. No, that was not okay, because a lot of the younger kids or the infants, they felt, well, they mostly sleep all the time. So you don't really need, they didn't really need you to do much. So you're just kind of sitting there. So they felt like, well, if you're not doing much, then I don't need to pay you that much. And I'm like, yeah, I guess. So that didn't go well. I went on like 2 or 3 interviews and the pay just wasn't enough. I know one job I really liked, but the issue was that I would have to drive, because I'm in Georgia, just so you guys know. I've said it before in my other videos, but if you only are on my channel for caregiving videos, most of the caregiving jobs that I've done are here in Georgia. since I live here. I have not done any caregiving in any other states that I've lived in, only Georgia. This one job, it was a great job. It sounded just like the job I was doing that I just left, just a little bit more work and lifting. And I'm not one to really want to lift just because I feel like I might have back problems already and I don't want to create more. And the pay was a lot less. And on top of that, I think I had to drive to Alabama and back in one day, like once a month or something. And I hate driving, so that just was like, yeah, no, that's not gonna work because I don't like driving in general. And then you want me to drive all the way to another state and then drive back at night, and I have poor vision. I actually need glasses. So I was like, yeah, that doesn't sound like that's gonna work for me. And that was a job I kind of was interested in, but I'm like, you know what? If you're trying to move forward, then you need to make sure you're making more money than the job before and you're doing less work, because we're trying to upgrade, we're trying to improve our lives. I was like, okay. So then I finally found a job that it was like a interview process, but you like went out and about in the community, and it was pretty fun. We went skating. I was like, yeah, this is awesome. And then we just kind of like got to know each other, and I was like, okay, you know, this isn't that bad. I did see some red flags, but I didn't think too much of it because I'm like, you know, that's their issue. I won't really be around them too much, so I didn't really think much into it. But when I started, I actually left after I think my third day because I just felt it was a little too much for me. If the family you're trying to work for is talking a lot about religion and politics, I feel like you should probably avoid that family. I actually feel like it shouldn't be discussed. So that was issue number one. They talked about their religion, and of course I respect other people's religions. It doesn't bother me at all. I'm willing to respect your beliefs, and if you don't want to do this or that, then we won't do that. But the issue was them pushing their religion. So they had asked me what my religion was. I don't really know how to say, oh yeah, that's not okay. I'm still working on that. So, you know, I just kind of let them talk or whatever, which probably was a mistake because then they started to try to force their religion. So before I actually like started the job every day, the parent would call me for like an hour. When I get there, it was just like, go to work, do X, Y, and Z. So that's what it started out as. And then it kind of changed to, you should read this and you should read that and you should come to this event on Saturday. And it just got worse. And then there were like cameras everywhere, which I don't mind. I'm used to working in environments with cameras, but it was like you had to have the camera on you in this specific like angle, and then the husband and the wife would watch. One worked from home and then one had a job outside of the home, and then they would both watch and they would make comments. Oh, you need to do it this way. Oh, you need to do it that way. Like every 5 minutes, a parent would come downstairs. Oh, make sure it's happening this way, or don't do it like that, do it like this. And I'm like, you know, that's fine. I don't mind. But micromanaging is kind of hard for me because I can't really get my job done if you're constantly interrupting me. And then of course I have a background in the school system, so I brought like a couple things to teach them, but apparently that didn't work because, you know, they like doing it this way and they could only learn this way. I'll do it your way because that's the only way that they could learn. So I was like, okay. I think I talked about in my other video, 5 tips for caregiving. You should be very careful about what the job entails. So if they're telling you X, Y, Z, and then you get there and then they're like, oh, by the way, you need to do this, 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 and this. It's like, oh, okay, well, we didn't discuss that. And I did not have a contract for this job because I literally just started. The first couple times I come, I kind of, you know, see what the job is about, and then I come back with a contract like, hey, okay, this is what we discussed, this is what I noticed, blah, 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 let's discuss it. But it never got to that point. My job details, it just kept like expanding and expanding and expanding, and I'm like, whoa, this is getting a little crazy. And it was like to the point where like, oh, meal prep, now you're cooking for the week for everybody. And I'm like, okay, that wasn't discussed. Or I would like get there early or leave late, but I wasn't compensated. And it just didn't seem like a very good environment, so I left. Honestly, I just felt so good that I was able to leave and not go any further, because in the past I would totally just be like, oh, I need money, I need a job, I need experience, I'm just going to work here until I find something else. But no, I quit. Pat on the back for me, because that was a lot of hard work for me. I don't like negativity or leaving. Sometimes it can get a little crazy. So that's that experience. And then I just I'm not working right now. I haven't worked in probably a month now. Right now I'm just training for my new job, and hopefully I'll start next month. Or in a couple weeks. I still have a couple of trainings to do, and then I'll be able to start working again. So yes, that's kind of what's been going on. And I do want to apologize to a lot of the people who subscribe to my channel and they're expecting caregiving videos and days in life. I just can't do those videos anymore. Well, the job that I currently had that I was making videos with, the reason why I left that job, I'll make a video on that in a couple months. But long story short, it had to do with COVID. I had got COVID a year ago. I got really sick and I lost my smell, and my smell unfortunately still has not fully come back yet. I would probably say sometimes it's at 80%, sometimes it's at 60%. Things just don't smell the same, and it was very frustrating because I did everything I could to isolate myself. I didn't go out, I didn't really have friends. If I did like take a vacation, I went to like an Airbnb and like stayed in the Airbnb. Like I didn't go out to dinner or anything like that, and they didn't treat it the same. Recently, they had got COVID again and were trying to hide it from me. And I knew because it was like the same symptoms, like, oh, I'm sick, but I feel fine. Oh, well, you should go get tested. Oh, no, I'm gonna wait. Okay, well, I'm not working because I'm pretty sure you have COVID because you have all the symptoms. You know, you're sick, that's fine, but I can't miss work for a week or two, and I have appointments and things that I have to do, and then I'm gonna have to put that off again because now I'm sick for 2 weeks, and that's not fair to me. No one should have to deal with a sickness because of someone else. So that was frustrating. So that was kind of the main reason. I was just tired of getting sick and my health not being a big concern. So yeah, that's kind of how this all started. I just took a leap. So no more days in the life caregiving videos, more situations, more advice. If you do decide to unsubscribe, I'm gonna miss you, but there won't be any more. And if you are leaving, if you could just like leave like a message in the bottom so I can like know who you are, or even if you're new and you subscribe for caregiving videos, let me know what video you subscribe to my channel for. Like what video did you watch and you were like, I'm gonna subscribe to her? Because I don't know, a lot of my videos that I make, YouTube doesn't tell me exactly when you subscribed or who subscribed. It's only sometimes. And I know a lot of you guys watch a lot of my caregiving videos only. I just started making caregiving videos because I didn't realize that so many people were interested in caregiving, and there weren't a lot of videos out there describing what a caregiver does. But there aren't a lot of caregivers out there who work with the special needs population. We do need a lot of caregivers in that population. I really suggest if you do want to do caregiving, please check out the special needs section. Not all the jobs are hard. Sometimes they just need a companion. It's really not any different. Get out there, try some new things, try some new caregiving jobs. I'm probably going to start sharing a lot of videos of my life as far as the house I just bought, the issues I've had with that, my apartment, the issues I've had with that. That was horrible. I was living in a not so good situation. I was sick all the time. I had headaches and I didn't know why. And now I'm in this house and I don't have a headache every day. My brain isn't foggy. It doesn't feel like it's being electrocuted from the inside out. And I just thought I had allergies really bad. But I think that there was some type of like mold, mildew, and maybe like some type of like sulfur gas smell, or I forgot the name of it, but it was coming out of the water heater in the closet because sometimes they would have to like pour like bleach in it. I don't know, it was some weird sketchy things going on. I do want to share my experience at my apartment, my house, my new cat. His name is Midnight. I named him. He is a feral cat, and he kind of came to the house, started following me around and wanting to be around me, but he did get sick. So if you ever see him in my videos, or today you probably saw his tail around, he does have some missing fur. He was biting at his fur because he had fleas. I've been taking him to the vet and trying to nurse him back to health, and he will be an inside cat. Sometimes he still wants to go outside and play, but he has to stay inside because it's very dangerous out there. I don't know if you guys know, but Georgia has a lot of bugs. So there's spiders like this big. I saw 2 of them and freaked out when I was trying to cut my grass. So yes, there's a lot of spiders. The pollen is bad. Snakes are coming. I have a raccoon that comes to my door every couple nights begging for food. I feel like I've become the animal lady. I also have another cat out there that is more feral. Like he or she, I don't know, because I thought Midnight was a girl at one point. Comes to the door sometimes and looks for Midnight. They don't really get along, so they kind of hiss at each other, but you know, that's pretty much where my channel is going. I wish I had more of an organized channel. Like, hey, I want to talk about X, Y, and Z or this, but I just have so much to share. So I feel like I just really hope that people come to my channel and they want to like see me and get to know me and my life and see how much I've improved. My channel is basically kind of for me in a way like a journal, an online journal, but I would love if people came and hung out. Let's be friends, guys. Let's talk to each other. Send me messages and comments. I do read them. Let me know who you are. Don't be shy. I'm very shy. I usually don't like to talk in front of the camera. I don't like to look at the camera. I barely like to look at people when I talk to them, to be honest. I'm very introverted. I just stay to myself. So me just coming on YouTube in general is like a big step for me to talk on the camera for like 30 minutes or longer. It's like, oh my gosh, like you did it. Hey. Sorry I'm talking fast. I'm waiting for someone to come and put some window screens on my window, and there's like a time limit, so I'm trying to get this out before they come. Yeah, sorry for the ramble. Hopefully you like this video. Hopefully you guys don't unsubscribe and you wait for my caregiving videos with advice and situations. They can help you in the future and help the future me too, because even though I've been through some situations, I still end up having some similar situations, and at the same time, and even though they're so similar, they're so different, and I'm like, wow, like how do I handle this? Like, I'm learning along the way, guys, and I'm just trying to help you guys as well so that you don't have to go through these situations, because it's tough sometimes. Yeah, so I'll see you next time. I guess I'm gonna sign out. I wish I could do like a cool like ending, like, oh yeah, let me just, oh, oops. Oh wait, I have to do it closer.